We spoke yesterday with you about the shootings in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where 3 young Muslims were shot in the head to death. And one thing we didn't talk about that Sean McGuire emailed me about is that the gun control aspect of the story, and in general about guns and parking lots, isn't really being discussed. And I think it actually is really important to talk about it today. First, to clear up a speculation that the anti-religious sentiment of the shooter and the Muslim faith of the victims may have played a role in what happened. Karen Hicks, the wife of the alleged shooter, says she's been married to the suspect for 7 years, denied that there's any chance he acted out of hatred for Muslims, saying, quote, he believes everyone is equal. It doesn't matter what the person looks like. And again, we have no specific evidence at all suggesting that the religion of the victims played a role. And at this point, I'm comfortable moving on from that discussion, at least in the absence of more specific evidence. So let's talk about what we continue hearing about, which is that the parking dispute was some kind of ongoing parking dispute was at the root of what took place in this shooting. And Pathos did some research about how common it is to have shootings over car parking, and it is happening with pretty significant frequency. Pathos found a very long list. I'll read to you some of them. In April of 2010, police investigated a shooting and stabbing over a mall parking space. In October of 2010, murder charges were filed after a detective was killed in a parking lot dispute. In January of 2012, a man was charged with killing his neighbors over a parking space. In May of 2013, police said that a man was shot in the face, again during a dispute over a parking space. In November of 2013, a parking dispute sparked a shooting at a Home Depot. In November of 2013, there was a fight in the Greenwood nightclub parking lot that led to a fatal shooting. And there's like 7 or 8 more of these, Lewis. And this was just a cursory search that was done by Pathos. And what is the common thread behind these shootings? It is not the religion of the individuals. It is not, acutely anyway, it is not even necessarily the political orientation, at least at face value. It is the broader context around guns being used as solutions in the U.S. for situations in which in other countries, at our level of development, people would not say, I'm going to solve my parking dispute with a firearm. That really is what is at issue to me when I read the data.
I think this, can we put this in the same category as road rage? I mean, if cars are involved, can we just call it road rage? I think it's basically the same thing,
It's
right?
an interesting point, which is that people are taking vehicle-related anger and they are saying, I am now going to use my gun to resolve this. Although there is maybe a little bit of a difference, which is if we think about some of the themes within gun ownership and using guns to defend what is rightly yours, if you think of a parking spot as something that someone is entitled to or has in their possession, albeit temporarily while they want to use it, it gets us into that using guns to defend my stuff mentality.
Yeah, I think that there are probably many instances in which we're dealing with a violent situation having to do with a parking spot that in front of your home or in front of your condo or wherever. I think that there's a good chance that if this man did not have access to this gun or any guns, that these murders would probably not have happened.
Right. When you don't have a gun and you're in a parking dispute, do you really leave to try to go get one and then come back to shoot the people? No, it probably ends without shots being fired. In most of these cases, seems like basic logic to me. If you disagree, certainly let me know.